the first non-GTP race of 2026 down, and I'll tell you what, somehow we still managed to have the same level of chaos at Mosport. Now, part of me would love to see the GTPs at a track like this. After all, they do tracks like Road Atlanta. But I also like seeing venues where we don't have the GTPs as well. I think there's a nice variety where you could just go, okay, we're not going to have this category here this time, but we can have this category instead. Like I said, the LMP2 is more than made up for the chaos. How many yellow flags did we end up having because of people having offs? How many times do we see an LMP2 face plant a wall or backwards out in the gravel? In the end, it was a win for Tom Dillman and into Europole with Clark alongside. And yeah, for Dillman, a year on from that heartbreaking loss when they were leading with the 43 for so long. Good job. Quite a convincing win as well. 9 seconds over the CrowdStrike 04, with Spike being 16 seconds off the win. The two other cars that were on the lead lap at the end of it were the Brian Herter Autosport with PR1 Mathiasen, the number 52. They were 36 seconds off the win, and then nearly a lap down, but still the lead lap, was the Leeds United Autosports car, the number 22. But there were battles throughout the field, and it just meant that you got some proper multi-class racing. I think it's nice when you have two classes of car, as we've seen with places like Long Beach, for example, where you can just go, the fast car can overtake the slow car, and the slow cars may hold up the fast car when they're in a battle, or the fast car lapping at a certain point of the track may interact with the slow cars in a way that will affect the battle for the slower cars. In GTD, it went the way of Vassar Sullivan, another win for that Lexus in its... It is actually the fairy tale swan song season, isn't it? It is actually the final season, right, for the Lexus. We are actually going to get that Toyota next year, right? Because they just beat, again, the newest evolution of Porsche 911. Good job to Air Racing, good job to Harry King and Nick Tandy for holding on to second place. They were only 2 seconds off the win at the end of it. They were only a second clear of the third place car, the number 1 PMR BMW. But we ended up with, what, 5 manufacturers in the top 5 for GTD Pro? No, we had 6 in the top 6 even, because behind them you've then got Milner and Katzberg in the number 4 Corvette. We've got the 65 Mustang of Mies and Verviche. Then you've got the 720 McLaren, the number 59, the RLT McLaren for Esterson and Johnson. Wow, I didn't realise how impressive that actually was. What it means is an increased lead for De Filippi and Verhagen in the point standings as a result of picking up 335 points over the weekend. Second place in the standings remains the 4, so Katzberg and Milner, but they only came out of it with 208 points. Again, interesting stuff in IMSA point systems. We get points for qualifying and points for the race, and such high points values that come out of it. Then behind them is the AO of King and Tandy, who have closed up the gap a little bit to both second and to first, but only a little bit, really. Whilst Barnacote and Hawksworth have also eaten into the deficit. They're now 5 points behind Alex Sims and Antonio Garcia, 6 points behind King and Tandy, but they're still, what, 150 points off the lead in GTD Pro? Should have mentioned LMP2 while we were at it. The 04 continues to lead the standings, but they are being caught with the Intereuropol 43 now only 70 points behind in the team's standings, and in the driver standings, it's Quinn and Kurtz from Clark and Dillman, perhaps unsurprisingly, with Dane Cameron and PJ Hyatt just behind them. As for GTD, Well, that went the way of Winwood. So there's a Mercedes from the other Vassar Sullivan, from the Turner Motorsport BMW, from a Ferrari, from a Huracan for Wayne Taylor Racing. There's a Conquest Ferrari as well in 4th in class. And I'm going to have to revisit this little bit again, aren't I? Because that poor Lamborghini Temerario, right? Newest outright GT3. It's a brand new car for this year. It had a good performance in Detroit. But for the life of me, I can't tell you any other standout performances the Temerario has had this year in its debut season. In fact, it feels like it's still getting consistently outperformed by the old Huracan. Now, maybe that's because there are some series that it's still not technically eligible for because of its homologation date. But, I mean, look at... I know, in the end, there was technical infringement on the lead Huracan that finished, what, second in the 24 Hours of Nürburgring? But look at how well that Huracan did. And then look at the... in cases bad luck, in cases reliability, in cases performance issues that the Temerario has had this season. I can't make it make sense. Anyways, folks, I know I've definitely missed a few bits. For example, I've missed talking about GTD drivers. Dudi Barrichello still leads the point standings from Aaron Thielitz and Benjamin Pedersen in the Vassar Sullivan car, with third place being Gallagher and Foley. And then when you have a look at the GTD teams, it is Heart of Racing leading from Vassar Sullivan by, what's that, 92 points? And Vassar Sullivan 28 points clear of Turner in third. But if there's anything that stood out to you, do let me know. And let me know, do you think it would be worth us seeing GTPs in Mosport at some point? I would love to see more international races on the IMSA schedule, and I'd love to see them have the GTPs. Anyways, till next time, bye for now.